recently saw the momentous opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, a groundbreaking new immersive land which gives you the chance to step into your own Star Wars story. A story I can't wait to experience for myself later in the year. However, Galaxy's Edge may have a tough time beating out my favorite ever Star Wars theme park experience, Star Wars Weekends. In 2015, I was lucky enough to enjoy every weekend of the last ever Star Wars Weekends. Over that time, I got the chance to meet some of my favorite Star Wars celebrities, procure some unforgettable merchandise, and spend time with fellow fans of the Force. While Star Wars Galaxy's Edge may be incredibly immersive and full of hidden magic to make Star Wars fans go wild, Weekends was the only place you could experience this. For Review Time, I'm Luke, and this is our retrospective on Star Wars Weekends at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The year is 1997, the 20th anniversary of George Lucas's sci-fi spectacle. In just a few years' time, people would finally get to see what happened before Luke Skywalker arrived when Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, would release in cinemas in 1999. In order to bring back the love for his franchise for a whole new generation, Lucas would release the Star Wars Special Edition in theaters. And while they aren't exactly loved today, they certainly brought the space opera back into the public's eyes, engaging a whole new audience in the universe of Wampas, Wookiees and warts. 1997 also saw the debut of something else trying to revitalize the public's interest in Star Wars 20th anniversary, but this one was much better received. The first ever Star Wars Weekends took place for 5 weekends at the Disney MGM Studios theme park between the 21st of February and the 23rd of March, 1997. Star Wars Weekends was essentially a Star Wars convention, all conveniently located in a theme park. The first event was quite small compared to the extravagance of later years and featured walk-around Star Wars characters, many of whom were previously unseen in a Disney park, small pop-up shows, as well as appearances by some famous Star Wars faces, including Warwick Davis, Jeremy Bulloch, and Peter Mayhew, all who would go on to appear at almost every Star Wars Weekends. Weekends were an instant success, bringing in new guests and fans to both the sci-fi epic and the Disney theme park, seeing both companies benefiting from the event. Remember, this is 15 years before Disney's acquisition of Lucasfilm, but not their first time working together, as we already had Indiana Jones' Temple of the Forbidden Eye, and of course, Star Tours. However, Weekends did not immediately become a yearly event for the park, not seeing the next occurrence until 3 years later in 2000, and then again in 2001, before one last single-year hiatus before becoming a yearly tradition between 2003 and 2015. Over the almost 20-year run, Star Wars Weekends featured so many incredible experiences, it would be impossible to go over all of them. However, some guest favorites of the event over the years included the chance to meet famous Star Wars characters of all species, races, and sizes, many of which were only ever seen during weekends. And of course, it wouldn't be Disney without the Fab Five getting involved in their best cosplay attire, letting you meet with Jedi Mickey, Leia Minnie, Darth Goofy, and Stormtrooper Donald. But Weekends wasn't just the chance to meet fictional characters. Many of the actors, voice actors, puppeteers, and more who brought your favorite Star Wars characters to life appeared as well, to meet and greet with fans, sign autographs, take photographs, and participate in panels. Almost every single major actor in the Star Wars universe appeared at least once throughout the 16 years, including, but definitely not limited to, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, and my personal favorite guests I got to see in 2015, Frank Oz and Ian McDiarmid. Your best chance to see these celebrities was either in the daily Legends of the Force motorcade down the park's parade route, or in one of the many panel shows. The major celebrity of each weekend would usually appear in the Stars of the Saga talk show, hosted by the amazing James Arnold Taylor, who also brought his great Obi-Wan and Beyond one-man voice acting show. These panels truly brought the convention feel to the event, getting to hear some great first-hand behind-the-scenes stories from well-known celebrities. In classic Disney style, the event also brought out plenty of one-off limited-time merchandise, available at the amazingly named Darth's Mall and Watto's Grotto, including some insanely cool items such as Carbon Freeze Me, where you could get your face 3D scanned and printed into a frozen block of carbonite, or even the Star Tours name badges I love so much, I had to get multiples of. One of the standout experiences throughout the entire 16-year run of the event has to be the Hyperspace Hoopla, which ran from 2008 to 2013. The Hoopla was a dance show, featuring all of your favorite Star Wars characters. Where else could you see Chewie rocking out to Hey Ya, or Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine jamming to classic 80s hits? The show was incredibly popular, and honestly made you say, how did Disney ever let this happen? And if you haven't been lucky enough to see this show before, you really have to watch a video of it online. It truly is something that must be seen to be believed. The Hoopla was just one of the ways in which Star Wars Weekends never took itself too seriously. You also had the previously mentioned Disney characters in cosplay, as well as some Stormtrooper comedy skits before the stars of the Saga show, in which they made self-referential jokes not just about themselves, but even about Disney's Hollywood studios. However, once Disney bought out Lucasfilm in 2012, they slowly started to treat Star Wars as a more serious endeavor, and not just something to have a bit of fun with. Because of this, the Hoopla was replaced in 2014 with the jaw-dropping Symphony in the Stars Fireworks Spectacular, and the Fab Five stopped dressing as Star Wars characters after the 2015 event. Speaking of the 2015 event, it was my first and only experience of the amazing time that was Star Wars Weekends, and it truly is one of the highlights of my year living and working at the Walt Disney World Resort. But during the event, as I made some lifelong memories with my closest friends, I never would have dreamt this would be our last chance ever to experience it. On the 14th of June, Star Wars Weekends 2015 wrapped up, but it wouldn't be until months later in November that Disney would officially announce the end of the event, saying that they wanted Hollywood studios to be the place where you could experience Star Wars every day, not just for a few weekends out of the year. Little did we know during the event that this would be our last time to experience the magic of weekends, but removing them can never take away the memories we have of laughing at Obi-Wan and beyond, marveling at Frank Oz's stories of Yoda and the Muppets, and sharing Star Wars memories surrounded by fellow Star Wars fans. So whilst Batuu will be my next Disney Parks Star Wars outing, I'll never forget my first Disney Parks trip to a galaxy far, far away during Star Wars Weekends. For ReviewTyme, I'm Luke. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing.